Hello, Keith here with Math Fun and Games. How's everybody doing today? I just want to have a chat about where I'm going with this channel and who I am, purposes I started this channel, and just give you some more information. When I started this channel, I wanted to have a channel that reflected my personality. That's why I did Math Fun and Games. An example I used was Young Ripa 59. Something he said that on his channel, he's going to put things that reflect his personality and reflect who he is. And that was my intention when I started this. I didn't plan then, and I don't plan now to have this as solely a gaming channel. I'm going to do things that, reflect me. If you want to stay and continue to be subscribed, then you will get all my gaming stuff. You might get my other stuff. I don't know. I might do knitting. I might do politics. I might do culture. I don't know what it's going to be. But whatever I do, it's going to be me speaking. It's going to be me being honest to you and giving my opinions. And I hope that you stay subscribed to my channel because I love having people listen to me. I've been around for 56 years, and I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've gone through a lot. And I have a very unique perspective. I have a perspective of someone who is a veteran of Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. I'm a disabled veteran. I have physical issues, and I definitely have some mental issues. So sometimes I'm not the easiest person to get along with. It's easier for me. I have problems being around people in person, relating to others and communicating with others. It's just a lot easier for me to do it online than to do it in person. If you met me in person, I'd probably be very shy and might not speak to you. But so that's where I'm going. More about me. I was born in Massachusetts. I moved to Colorado as a child. My father was a steel worker. My mother worked in a plastics factory. I had a brother who died when I was a baby. He was in 18 or 19. That created a lot of issues in my family, and it really affected me too. I've had my time in the military was very interesting. My last deployment was to Syria, and that basically broke me. But I'm slowly, recovering a little bit. I have a lot of stories to tell. As far as gaming concerned, I'm in 1976, 75, 76, I was there playing games. I was probably 76, is probably 9 or 10. And I was starting to game. I was probably 10 years old when I was playing Advanced Third Reich. And then I got Panzer Leader, Richthofen's War. I love the technology. I looked on the box of Panzers and I just saw those tanks. I thought they were the coolest thing. On Richthofen's War, I saw the planes. I thought they were the coolest thing. And when I played Advance, I played, Third Reich, Rise and Decline of the Third Reich, and it was just fascinating. And I learned so much about history. And then I had Tobruk too, and that game was excellent. The way it was so realistic. I remember that you had to mark down individual casualties, and I thought that was really fascinating. And the whole system where you go step by step, the way they thought progressively, like start with the easier scenarios, then you go with more difficult scenarios, then you go with more difficult scenarios. And that was very, very interesting to me. I also got a lot into sports gaming. I bought the '79 season of Stratomatic I think the first sports game I had was 77, 78. The old style Stratomac basketball. The teams were the Buffalo Braves and the San Diego Clippers that I got with the box. And then you had the coupon where you can get 6 other teams. And I sent those in. I don't remember what the teams were. I know I think one was the Sixers, maybe Houston was in there, maybe the Celtics, I forget. Then I played a lot of war games. In the early 80s, I watched a lot of basketball, a lot of Celtics games. I remember the 83, 84 season or something like that. One of the seasons where the Celtics were practically unbeatable. I listened to every game, and you used to have Bob Cousy used to announce, and Bob Cousy and Tom Heinsohn were on TV, and of course you had Johnny Most on the radio. And I learned so much about basketball. That was a lesson. That season, the 82 games, it was like having a master teacher. And I really learned a lot about basketball just by watching Bob Cousy and Tom Heinsohn broadcast. They were like professors to me. Educationally, I didn't go beyond the 7th grade in public school. I had social issues, which I still do to a certain degree. I got my associate's degree when I was 18. Full scholarship to Boston University. Went there for a year. Had issues, social issues, and didn't continue. Eventually I did go back to school at Fitchburg State College. The year 2000, I graduated from Fitchburg State College with it's not Fitchburg University, but I graduated from Fitchburg State College with a Bachelor in Computer Science degree. In 95, I entered the Army Reserves. I wanted to do something technical. Well, initially I went to take my ASVAB test with the National Guard, and their office was closed when I went. I think I arrived there late. So then what happened, I went to another recruiter, staff sergeant, Army, good guy, said I wanted to do technical stuff because I like computers, and I want to do the reserves because I want to pay for school and maybe pay off some of my debts. And I ended up being an operating room technician. And I was an operating room technician. My reenlistment time came shortly after 9/11. I reenlisted to be a medical laboratory technician. I tried to deploy for years and years and years after that. Never really had a steady job, and there was a time in the military for an entire year I just said, I've had enough. And I said, because they kept saying, we're going to deploy you if you don't show up, if you don't do what you want. They used that as a threat overhead, and I said, I want to deploy. So I didn't show up for a year in the reserves, and they didn't deploy me, and I was kind of disappointed. Then they were looking for volunteers, so I volunteered and was sent to cook school for a month. That was a lot of fun. It was someplace in Virginia, a very small camp. I forgot what, it wasn't Camp Lee, but I forgot what it was. And that was a fun school. But they didn't deploy me. They finally deployed me after I was 1 year into my first marriage. I went to Iraq. I was with the unit. If you read the book Paradise General, that was my unit. The writer of Paradise General, he was a doctor, and our unit was split up. One half was in Mosul, and one half was in Tikrit. The writer of that book was in Tikrit. I was in the Mosul, and then they moved most close to the Mosul hospital down, and I went to Iraq. I was in Al-Assad. Came home from that, divorced my wife, married my current wife, went active duty. By the way, I don't have any kids. I do have dogs. I love dogs. I did love cats, but now I love dogs. Don't have any cats. Cats won't get along with my dogs. So after that happened, I worked as medical lab tech, third shift at a hospital near Boston. Uh, I was pretty much just third shift supervisor. It was just me and another guy, but the other guy didn't actually have his license. He wasn't fully licensed. So I was pretty much kind of ran things, even though I really didn't. But so I ran the hospital lab, although I really didn't. But let me put it that way: my job title was medical technologist, and I was a senior person on third shift. I can put it that way. Uh, that was after my deployment to Afghanistan, to Iraq as a lab tech. Let me see. I moved out west. Well, I went active duty. I became a fueler. They gave me a choice of being a fueler or artillery. I didn't want to be artillery, so I became a fueler. I think the choices were artillery, forward observer, or regular artillery, or fueler. So I went fueler. I was deployed with the petroleum supply unit out of Fort Devens, no, out of Fort Carson, Colorado. I was deployed. That was interesting. Our unit ran gun trucks and security and stuff out of Bagram. Came back, re-enlisted to be supply sergeant. I never should have re-enlisted to be supply sergeant. I was probably the world's worst supply sergeant in the history of the military. I gave it my best. Went to Korea for a year. That was interesting. I love the Korean people. I love Korean drama and all the Korean shows on Netflix. And then I was moved to Fort Bliss. I was assigned to Fort Bliss. Went to Fort Bliss. At Fort Bliss, I was first in the 2nd Brigade PBO office. A lot of paperwork, a lot of stress. I didn't adapt too well to it, so I ended up being sent to the line. I guess they thought that would make me a better soldier. I don't know. I just couldn't keep up with the paperwork in the office. Went to a line cav unit, which was awesome. I can say that I was with the 1st squadron of the 1st cav unit. I'd also say they have my golden spurs now. So that's awesome. I'm grateful for that. I was deployed with them, I was deployed to Syria. My unit was in Syria, and we had equipment all over. We had equipment all over the Middle East, and that was stressful. And that deployment kind of broke me a little bit. And I got back, and I'm medically retired now from the U.S. military. When I got out, I was tried being a teacher for a year. I'm still fully certified as a math teacher in the state of Texas. I will be for the next. I'm going to keep that certification up because I'm fully certified as a secondary school teacher, and I do have my English as a second language qualification. I taught there for a year. That was the year COVID kicked up. Toward the end of that year. I was let go, and then I moved back to Colorado, Craig, Colorado, where I live. I was a teacher for more than a year, and that didn't work out. And here I am. Now, like I said, I want this channel. I want to be me. I don't want to lie or anything. I want to be me, and I want to be honest. I have a great wife. My wife is from Ireland. My wife is now a teacher. Well, my wife My wife was a teacher for 18 years or something when I married her. In Ireland, my wife was an Irish citizen, and she moved to the United States, and now she has United States citizenship too, so she's a dual citizen. My wife has a home in Ireland, so she's a great woman. It's sometimes living with me can be a real challenge. And that's where I am right now. So right now I'm on military disability, and I own my own home now through the GI Bill, and I'm trying to find a second source of income so I can stay here in Craig, and I don't want to move away from Craig. This is my home. I love Craig and I love Moffat County. We got a ton of snow, which is awesome. I guess that's it. Politics and religion are difficult. I don't like talking about politics or religion, so I probably won't talk politics or religion very much, because it just creates, it creates problems. I would like to talk about television shows maybe, and talk about games, knitting, family, general activities. And that's it. Well, that's me. I wanted just to say thank you for those who subscribe. I really appreciate it. And those who give thumbs up to my videos, I really appreciate it. I plan to diversify my content more. Hopefully you stay, and you don't have to. If you're there for just my videos, when I play games and that's all I'm going to talk about, the games. And when I talk about science, I'm going to talk about science. I'm not going to talk about politics. If I do talk about politics or what's going on in society or culture war issues, don't listen. If you don't want to listen to those, you don't have to listen to those. I would like you to stay for my gaming commentary. Like I said, this is my channel, Math, Fun, and Games. I'm a math teacher. I love playing games. And I'm a veteran. I'm a husband. And I love technology. Okay, I hope everyone watches this. I'm going to try to be white pill rather than black pill. I want black pill everybody. I want white pill everybody. I believe in being positive about the future. The generation coming up, I have a lot of faith in what they're going to do, and no matter what we do, I'm a Generation X, and whatever Generation X or the boomers do, I think the next generation is going to do a lot better than us, because I think we let them down. We definitely let them down. And God bless them. I just hope they don't forget people like me who hopefully didn't mess things up too much. Well, I thank everybody. And I just want everybody to have a good day. I tried to be myself. I hope that's okay with, well, I am myself. And there are going to be people who are going to like me, and there are going to be people who aren't going to like me. That's just the way life is. You can't expect everybody to like you. But if you do like me, and you can tolerate me being a pain in the butt sometimes, thank you for joining my channel.